And so we're back with Joe. And before we left break, we didn't quite start, but we wanted to talk about appendix carry. So let's jump into that cesspool of
Well, I think we're just trying to offend every side of every firearms argument ever in this short time window we have. So we might as well get to it.
So me personally, so I remember LaSort. I don't know if you're familiar with Darren LaSort.
Yeah. Yeah.
So LaSort wrote an article one time about appendix carry, and it sounded like this: one long beep, right? Which basically, like, he can't stand appendix carry. He hates it. I, on the other hand, I have a love-hate relationship with it. So I have appendix carry. I appendix carry every once in a while, largely when I'm so for people who don't carry on a consistent basis, I just want to put something out there. I carry about 99% of the time. There are some days when carrying a gun is unbelievably annoying. Like, just unbelievable. For whatever reason, it may just not work with a pair of jeans that you have on. You know, you're set up that you thought, you grabbed the wrong belt. So it's just, whatever the case, there are some days it's just like, this is madness. So I'll appendix carry if I know I'm going to be doing a lot more standing. When I'm standing, everything is peachy.
Right.
However, when life starts, I don't know how people do it. I don't.
No, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you because I'm in the same boat. I carry pretty much always, as long as it's lawful.
Yeah.
And
me too.
I have appendix carry holsters. I have inside the waistband holsters. I have outside the waistband holsters. But that appendix carry, I have a love-hate relationship with it because I'll put it on. I'll holster up. I'll throw my T-shirt on. I'm looking in the mirror. And I'm like, no one's gonna see that. It's like, that's perfect. And then I bend over and try and tie my shoe.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And it all crumbles. I was. I had just watched my Instructor Zero YouTube video. I was ready. I was a believer, and then I had to tie the shoe, and it's just like, and the whole mirage just collapses. There are people that can do it, and that can do it all the time.
Yeah, contortionist.
I'm with you. If I'm going for a walk, if I'm going to be standing, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
If I got to drive a car or tie a shoe or sit for long periods of time, it's just not happening.
It's a wrap. I just can't do it. Now, there are a lot of advantages with it. But oddly enough, the times that I can do it, I'm forced to go to a smaller gun, which is odd. Because most guys who are diehard appendix carriers, they tell you, "Oh man, I can conceal carry a Desert Eagle when they don't."
Right.
I want to put this caveat out there.
Slide 1911.
I want to put this caveat out. Not all appendix carriers talk like that. Yeah, right. So I just want to put that out there too.
Oh, come on. We're offending everyone. It's fine.
No, in my head they do. I'm just putting it out there just for legal purposes. So,
okay, perfect. Yeah.
But no, like I can't, like I have to go smaller. Like when I'm appendix carrying, I'm either carrying the Shield or like the Glock 43. But then at that point, I'm like, I might as well just carry it 3 o'clock. Yeah. Because it defeats the purpose at that point.
Yeah, I also like, there are some advantages, like some real advantages to me. Like I do kind of like having it in front of me because I tend to carry a little further back, 4 or 5 o'clock. And so there, when you're tying your shoe or picking something else from the bottom shelf, you have that quick moment where you're like, oh, am I exposed?
Yeah.
But having it right there in front of you, you really feel in control.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a love-hate. There are a lot of advantages to it. Most of the time, the discomfort just outweighs those.
Yeah. I just can't. I try to do it. Sometimes even in my car. But the odd thing is where I carry when I'm in my car, it puts me at a disadvantage because I can't necessarily get to my gun as fluid as I can if I were to appendix carry. So there's that component too. But when I'm appendix carrying, I want to kill myself. So it defeats the purpose.
That just kind of defeats the whole purpose.
I just, especially in the car, it's just digging into maybe I'm too fat. I don't know.
And that's what the internet keeps telling me.
Yeah.
If I was just skinnier, it would feel good, but I don't know.
I mean, I went on a little fast. I didn't eat for a day, and then when I ate, everything just kind of crumbled. But and the weird thing is, it's with me. I love, like, I don't like I have this like small gun insecurity. and I had to just put it out there. I hate when I have to carry anything smaller than a Glock 19.
I'm with you. I love the shield.
Yeah.
I have a shield. I carried it. I've carried it probably for a year, but it's almost, to me, it's the same thing as the 1911. I just want more rounds on hand.
Yeah.
Even if all I'm doing that day is just going to the range to train, I get to load less magazines if I have the bigger gun.
Man. But my insecurity is so bad that I carry the gun I carry the most is a Glock 26. But I have these Terran Tactical base plates that adds like +4. So it's like a fraction of barely smaller than a 19.
Right.
But I'm like, you know, in my mind, I've convinced myself, well, I mean, it's smaller, and I get close because the base plate with the +1 gives me 14 rounds total in my Glock 26, and it's a little bit smaller than my 19, which carries 15 rounds. So I've kind of come to the conclusion that I can kind of settle on that. But generally speaking, when I have to go below the 19, or when I am carrying a shield, I'm comfortable. I love it. It feels great.
Right.
Problem is, I'm just like, I wish I had my 19.
Yeah, it's I like, that's one of the things I like about those Springfields is that you get your 13 rounder, so you feel a little bit, I mean, way more than a 1911 or the shield.
Yeah.
But maybe still less than the 19. But then you also get included in that case that 19 round magazine.
Yeah.
Man, there's nothing like putting an entire box of ammunition into your gun at one time.
There is one gun that I think a lot of people underestimate that's a good between a 19 and, say, a Glock 26, and that's the M&P 9C. Before I gave it to my mother, I carried that quite a bit because, you know, I think with the +1, it's like 13 rounds, and it's a little bit bigger than the 26, but smaller than small enough to make a difference than the 19. And so for people out there wondering who are kind of caught in that conundrum, the M&P 9C is a good thing. Now, you mentioned about the spare mag thing. How consistently do you carry a spare mag?
100% of the time I have one, I'd say, in arm's reach.
Okay.
I usually, like when I come to work, it's usually in my briefcase. Okay. I say that like I still have an old leather briefcase or something.
That's the image that popped in my head.
Like I have a courier bag or something. You know, it's in my bag. And then, but if I'm carrying a 1911, we talked about before, I usually carry outside the waistband, and I pretty much 100% of the time carry a second magazine from that. But that comes from that ammo insecurity, you know. I have to have that second magazine, even if it's just 8 more rounds. I gotta have it. Yeah,
no, I'm with you. However, I'm probably not as diligent in carrying a spare mag as you are. I'd say for me, it's about 70% of the time I have a spare magazine on me. A lot of the times, just due to I just have nowhere to put it, and my jeans tend to fit a little bit differently than some people are willing to wear.
Skinny jeans, yeah.
They're not skinny jeans. They're just a little bit more fitted. But carrying a spare mag can get a little cumbersome, so I don't necessarily always carry a spare mag.
That all comes back to the gun choice, you know, with the 19 or with those XDs.
We got about like 20 seconds left, by the way, just because we completely talked. Sorry, but yeah, go ahead.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, who else can we crush their dreams in 20 seconds?
Hey, how about this? How about we do this instead? We'll bring you back on the show, and then we have more targets.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm good for it. But no, thank you very much, man. This was a blast. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, definitely, we gotta have you back on, and we can piss off some more people on the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone follow at AmericanRifleman.org. Gun of the Week, Gun Gear of the Week, and if you're not an NRA member, join today. Get your subscription to American Rifleman. You heard the man. Go out and do it. All right, thanks, Joe. Thanks, man. All right, and there's another awesome episode of Seeing Live. Join us again tomorrow.